Hello guys, so I'm back with another trading video. It's been quite a while since I posted a video. What I want to talk about today is trading Bitcoin with Ichimoku. I've had a few people ask me if it's possible to trade Bitcoin with Ichimoku. So I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart and we'll have a look and see what trades we could have possibly got with using Ichimoku. Okay, so I'm on this Bitcoin BTC USD daily chart here on FXCM's trading view. Sorry, not trading view, FXCM's market scope. Because BTC is only just accessible on FXCM, it'll only allow you to go back about a year, maybe 18 months, back to 2017. I'll show you how far it'll let me go back. So, from there. So where it reached that peak of 20,000, nearly 20,000, 19, as you can see there, around about 19,889. I mean, if you want to look back further, I'd suggest using trading view. And that's why I've made a mistake at the beginning and said trading view, because in the past that's what I've used to look at BTC. Now I don't trade cryptos at all, because I personally believe they're too volatile to trade. They don't always follow the conventional rules that Forex and stocks do. But we'll have a look today and see if we can see any opportunities. So as you can see, Ichimoku, it's only just started registering Ichimoku there at 10/4/2018 on this platform. So basically we're just going to have a look from that point onwards. So here we are then. So here we violated Kijun Sen and Tenkan Sen straight away. We got a slight bounce off Kijun Sen there, as you can see. Maybe we could have taken that trade there if we'd have had faith in Ichimoku and we were trading. We had a fractal level there. So we came down, bounced off the fractal, violated the fractal there. I've got my fractal indicator on there. And then we moved back up to that fractal, and we did try and bounce there on the Kijun Sen. And if we'd have gone short there, that would have been a loser. So that's one trade that Ichimoku didn't work. Okay. And then it violated Kijun Sen, and we moved up, we broke the flat fractal there where my arrow is. We moved up to the cloud, and we could have thought, well, we've got a fractal here, but are we going to get a bounce off the cloud? And that's one of our trades with Ichimoku, a bounce off the cloud. So if I put a line there, you can see there we'd have taken that short, and that would have been another loser, because the stop loss would have been up there, and would have been stopped out. And then if we'd not have been stopped out there, or if we'd not taken that trade there and waited, we'd have got another chance to enter here and would have been stopped out there as well. So we could have quite easily been stopped out at least once there, and maybe if we'd have taken the first trade, stop loss would have been up there. I'll put another line on. So we've got a red line there where the stop loss is. So if we'd have taken that, would have been stopped out there. It would just hit a stop loss, because we wouldn't have been above. I doubt if we'd have. I only put my stop loss on the arrow, that little arrow, and that leaves me 3 or 4 pips just above the wick. So I'd have been stopped out there. So that's 2 trades with a loss using Ichimoku. And then we'd have got the doji there. Now we may have entered that trade there, but we wouldn't have been really entering through Ichimoku. We'd have been probably looking at these fractals here and entering on that. So that really wouldn't have been, we can't count that really as an Ichimoku trade, even though we could say it's not bouncing off that cloud level there, but I wouldn't have taken that trade, so we can't really count that one. This one here, we can't really say we're bouncing off Tenkan-sen because we've already just cut through it and violated it from the upside. And then we came down to Kijun-sen. Normally with Ichimoku we can look for a Kijun-sen bounce. But as you can see there, it did break through, and then, but it didn't bounce as we expected, although it did bounce here when it had already broken through. But that's to do with that fractal, I think. And then here, so we did get a successful trade here. So we've had about 3 losers already with Ichimoku. Here we've got a sort of a Tenkan-sen bounce, so we could have entered there with a stop loss above here, short for the Tenkan-sen bounce, and that would have been a good trade down to there. So let's have a look. So how many pips would we got off that? This is the daily time frame. Yeah, about 600 pips just on that one candle. See these big moves? You get big moves like this, but it's very volatile. Moves very quick sometimes as well. And then we wouldn't have stayed in past that point there. We'd have probably got that doji and thought we'll get out. And it did pull back here anyway. If we'd have been brave and stayed in, or just move the stop to the top of that wick there, so there, something like that, then would have been in all this, and that would have been over probably 1,000 pips. But then again, I mean, we're not honouring this Tenkan-sen here, are we? It's just cutting straight through it, violating it. So we could have probably thought, if we didn't get that trade there, we could have probably thought, well, we've got a trade here. Trade there, entry there, sell stop there, and stop loss there. But then it did move back through Tenkan-sen, even though stop loss was up here. But look at the stop loss, look at the size of the stop loss you need for Bitcoin on the daily. 7424, 500 pip stop loss. That's ridiculous. You know, I mean, how can you have a 500 pip stop loss? Unless you're trading micro lots or something like that. That's what you'd have to do, just take your lot size down. So if you normally trade a standard lot or contract, we call contracts in the UK and lots in America, you could take your lot size down. But some brokers only allow you to, my broker only allows me to go down so far. I think my broker allows me to go down to, it's a UK broker, allows me to go down to 5, the equivalent of 5 micro lots, which is 50 pence per lot. They've just changed the rules. So they allow 50p, which is, it used to be £1, the minimum. But that's a spread bet. The contracts they're about £6 in the UK, and $10 I believe in the US. So you just have to take your contract down, your lot size down to suit. That's why really, if when you're opening an account, it's best to open a small account, and then you can always, you know, you can always increase your lot sizes. But if you open a standard account, you can't take it down to a mini lot or a micro lot, I don't believe. It's just a standard account. So yeah, you open a micro lot, you can just put, and you want to put a standard lot on, you just put 100 lots on, don't you? So that's that. So micro lot's 10 cents a pip, I think, so roughly. It does vary with each pair that you trade, so you just have to, with that big stop loss there, 500 pips, you just have to take it down, take your lot sizes down. But it's still a big stop loss anyway. So we've had about 4 losing trades on Ichimoku at the moment and 1 winner. So that's not looking very good with Ichimoku. Then here, I mean, we could take the Tenkan-sen break, but it's not one I'd take. I don't trade the Tenkan-sen break, or the Kijun-sen break for that matter. I tend to trade bounces off Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, Cloud and Fractals. I think the bounce trades are the more successful trades, to be honest. So we violated it there, and we violated that fractal there. But really, I mean, I keep mentioning these fractals, but we shouldn't. We're trading. We're testing it with Ichimoku, so we can't really be talking about fractals. So we'll try and stay away from them. We've got a bounce here, a Tenkan-sen bounce. So we'd enter there on that. We'd see that doji, and I'd have my stop loss there, just on the top of that arrow. Leave 3 or 4 pips space, just in case it goes up to that level. Because if it goes up to that level, it could easily go, slightly past. So I'd enter there on the break of that. So I'd be in there, and that'd be a good trade to the downside. So as you can see there, that would have been a nice Tenkan-sen bounce trade. And if we'd have been watching the trade, we could stay in right down to this point. So we'd break there, and we'd see this here, but we could just move a stop loss. Once that candle's closed, we could just move a stop loss down to the top of that. I usually follow a couple of candles behind, or a fractal or something like that. I judge every trade on its own merits. I don't have a set rule. I just have a look and see what's happening. If I'd have caught, this is a daily, don't forget as well. See, this is every day. So if you've seen that happen on a 1 day move, the candle, that blue candle there, you'd probably think it was going to go back up to the upside. But you've got to bear in mind this fractal here. And we did have a slight rejection there. So it all depends on your plan, on your strategy. I usually trade the 4-hour chart. I'm just showing this daily. Daily's a bit more reliable when it comes to breaks and bounces and honouring levels and things like that. So that's why I've got this daily on. So that would have been a good one. And then could have got it down to there. Then we'd have had to just move a stop loss down. We'd have moved that down to there, and would have been then stopped out as it went back up. So that's got about 4 or 5 losers and 2 winners with Ichimoku at the moment. So if we get 2 to 1 on these trades, that's about break even at the moment. And then we've got a violation there of Tenkan-sen again. I mean, we could have quite easily thought, well, it might bounce here on Tenkan-sen to the upside. I mean, I know we haven't got any crosses or anything like that, but we're just looking at bounces on these 2 indicators, Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen. We could have been thinking it might go up to the upside there, and it didn't, so that could have been another loser. So this Ichimoku's not proving very reliable at the moment with Bitcoin. And then we didn't get anything here. We violated Tenkan-sen. We've got a bit of a doji there, which just going by Ichimoku, it wouldn't have told us anything because we're below Tenkan-sen. So we might have even thought it's going back down to the downside and rejecting Tenkan-sen. but it didn't, and we might have thought, oh well, I'll put an entry there for a trade to the downside, thinking it's bouncing off Tenkan-sen, but once again violates straight through Tenkan-sen, doesn't even wait around. That's what's worrying about this pair, this Bitcoin, because it didn't even show any signs of reversing at Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, and then we get the cross there, the Tenkan-sen crosses Kijun-sen, and it just goes straight up. So it worries me trading Bitcoin with Ichimoku, because Ichimoku's normally reliable. And look here, I mean, we did get some rejection here. This cloud bounce here, this could have been a potential short there, we'd have thought, there, but it just, we've got that big rejection candle, entry there, and violated straight through. It's as if it just ignores all the conventional levels. I mean, even if you look at the fractal levels, it just like the fractal level there. You know, that's quite a significant level, and it honoured it there and there, but then it just wham straight through. So, and then here we broke out the cloud, and that's normally a trade for Ichimoku. Kumo breakout. Would have thought, you know, broke out there, enter, bang, down. Not even a blink of an eye, and it's down. You know, no messing about, no hesitation. Even though we've got these big long candles here that would indicate in normal circumstances that, you know, we've got rejection there, two big pin bars, plus that doji sort of spinning top there, and it just disregards any rules whatsoever and goes to the downside. Then we've got a Kumo breakout here. Well, what we'd have thought is a Kumo breakout, enter there, and stop loss above here somewhere, just inside the cloud. Got a bit of profit, probably wouldn't have got out because we'd have expected a bit more, and then bang, straight back up through, straight through Tenkan-sen. Bit of a rejection here off Tenkan-sen. I mean, if we didn't get in there, we might have thought, well, I'll get in here then. Break of that candle there to the downside, stop loss above the pin bar, and bang, straight the other way. So I think we're on to about 7 or 8 losers at the moment with Ichimoku, and maybe 2 or 3 winners, if that. And once again, Kijun-sen's normally quite a reliable place to have a bounce, and here we are. We've got a bit of indecision. You know, we wouldn't have been wrong for thinking it was going to bounce there, especially with this candle here to the downside. And what does it do? Totally ignores it. It's as if they don't even exist. Straight through Kijun-sen, takes us out again. That's, you know, another loser. And then nothing happening here, straight through, no price action to even indicate that anything's going to happen here, straight through Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, and then it does bounce off Kijun-sen there, okay, and we might have got a bit of profit there, but no indication by the candle, no indecision, and then wham, straight back through the other way. So another loser. So we're up to about Ichimoku. With Ichimoku trading Bitcoin, about 10 losers at the moment. Then you can see here, all we did is just, I mean, we did bounce off Kijun-sen there, but I won't call these good trades at all. I mean, it's ranging really. It's doing nothing here really. Yeah, it's bouncing slightly off Kijun-sen there. I think that's the most it's honoured Kijun-sen in the whole time we've looked at it. Yeah. So big rejection there. We'd have thought, oh, we've got a good entry here. Massive rejection there. But look at the size of the stop loss. Ridiculous. 700 pips. Again, you'd have to take your lot size down, but I won't take that. I mean, look at that. That's the full width of this whole range, just for that one candle. That's why it got rejected there, because of that level there, look. See? Then it did nothing then, for all this time. And it's done nothing since. And then, until we got to November, and then we had this massive break here, of this breakout. Alright, I don't trade breakouts anyway. And it just broke straight through. No warning, no indecision, nothing. Massive candle. You know, let's just see how big that candle is. Massive candle. Nearly 800 pips. Bit of rejection. 1,000 pips, and then it pulled back to 800, or, you know, just under 800. Massive candle. And then these are just, you know, just two bigger moves, and then just, you know, straight down. Massive candle again. A couple of indecision candles. Another massive candle. Nothing to suggest any bounce, and this probably suggests a bounce, but with all this move here, you know, and it pulls back, we're not going to be surprised at it anyway. So we could get in there at that level. So all in all, so we get in that level, stop loss above there, but we just had this big move, so we're expecting a bit of a pullback anyway. Pulls back to Tenkan Sen. Get in there, and it drops. So we've got a good trade there. But we've had 10 losers on Ichimoku and about 3 or 4 winners. And if, you know, if we trade 2 to 1, if these are 2 to 1, which to be honest, we'd be struggling even with 2 to 1 for this. So my conclusion is, no, we can't really trade Bitcoin with Ichimoku. It's just too volatile. It just, to me, it just violates all the normal levels that we normally mark for trading. And even fractals. I mean, look at all the breaking fractals and all over the place. So that's it really. I just wanted to put that out, and if you guys have got any experiences using Ichimoku with Bitcoin, or you want me to talk about something that I've not mentioned, just put it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer it. And, you know, if I get a few people asking the same thing, I'll make a video on it. Okay? So until next time, bye bye, and good luck with your trading.